Did you just have to unmute yourself?
Sorry, I did.
You did? Okay. Then we're ready.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Could you turn this light also? Right. This morning, we want to start with Satipatthana Sutta. As you know, there is another Satipatthana in Majjhima Nikaya. This Satipatthana is called Satipatthana. It is in Digha Nikaya. This is the discourse that gives detailed account of meditation instructions. This is very practical discourse. It begins in Kuru. This is another discourse that Buddha delivered in Kuru Ratha. And this discourse begins with Ekaino ayam bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhya soka pariddavanang samatikkamaya dukkha domanasanang attangamaya nyayasa adhigamaya nibbānasa sachikiriyaya. At the very outset of the discourse, Buddha has given 5 purposes of meditation. 5 purposes. Number one is sattanang visuddhya, for the purification of beings. You look at the word satta, it is not sattha. Sattha with emphatic the, mahaprana the, meaning one thing, satta is another meaning. Satta is satto asattoti satto, being that are attached to the aggregates are called satta. Buddha is not satta. Buddha is called asattam sugatang buddhang. Buddha is not attached to the 5 aggregates. Therefore, the Buddha is not called satta. Buddha is called sattha. Sattha means the teacher of gods and humans. So we should not make this mistake, should not mix up satta with satta. Asattam sugatang buddham, remember that. Buddha is not attached to the 5 aggregates. Therefore, the Buddha is not satta. That's why when Upaka asked the Buddha whether he was God, human, Brahma, divine, this and that, Buddha said, no, no, no. Then Buddha defined himself that he is a one liberated one. Liberated ones are not called Satta. Liberated from what? Liberated from samsara and suffering. So, Sattanang Visuddhya. Those Satta, like us who are attached to the 5 aggregates, for their purification. In Ratha Vinita Sutta, there are 7 purifications, which are explained in detail in Visuddhimagga. Purification is Sila Visuddhi, Chitta Visuddhi, Ditti Visuddhi, Kanka Vitarana Visuddhi, Magga Magga Jnana Darsana Visuddhi, Patipada Jnana Darsana Visuddhi, and Jnana Darsana Visuddhi. These are the 7. Purification of these 7. This meditation, Satipatthana meditation, helps beings attached to 5 aggregates to purify their morality, purify their concentration. Chitta Visuddhi means purification of mind, which means attaining jhanas and purifying their concentration. This we can see very clearly in the Pabhasra Chitta in Anguttara Nikaya. Pabhasra midam bhikkhave chittam tanchako agantukehi upakilesi upakilitam tang asutavat putujjano na pajanati tasma asutavasta putujjanasa chitta bhavana namanati. Chitta bhavana means concentration, meditation. On the other hand, it also says panya bhavananati, insight meditation, because they don't know that luminous mind can be purified. Luminosity doesn't mean purification, but the shining. Everything that shines is not gold. So the mind is shining, but it still has some impurities. Impurity attracts impurities. Adventitious defilements defile the mind. So this meditation helps us to purify our mind. All these 7 purifications. I don't want to go into details of them because that is 7 subjects. It needs 7 years to explain. So I try to restrain myself from getting involved in that. Though this is the first purpose of this meditation. First purpose is the purification. Purification of beings. And this said, Ekayano ambikre maggo. Ekayana means direct path. Ekayana has been interpreted, translated into different means, different ways, but I think rather better meaning is direct path. Direct for these purifications. For this purification, this is the very direct path. And Buddha said in other places, Ujuko nama somaggo, abhaya nama sadisa, rato apujano nama, dhammachakke sangyuto, Hiritasa apalambo satyasa parivaranam dhammahang sarating bhumiras sammaditi pure javan. Yassa etajasang yanang itya purisasa save etena yanena nibbanasseva santike. So this path, direct path, on the way we have to do this purification. Remove this debris, this what you call undergrowth. So when you clear a path, you have to remove the undergrowth, little shrubs, little plants, grass, and so forth. So we have to purify them in that direct path. So, and that is why this number one is purification. You have to clear when you cultivate the land, you have to clear it first. Similarly, when we want to develop our mind, we have to clear from some build up habits, build up unwholesome states. We have to get them out of our way. Only when we can go straight away, following the direct path. And then, Satipatthana Visuddhya, second purpose is Soka Paridhavana Samatikkamaya, for overcoming sorrow and lamentation. When we develop this mindfulness, according to this discourse, or any other discourse on mindfulness, we see the truth, the reality. When we see the truth or reality, there is no room in our mind to sorrow, to lament. We know why we sorrow, because of greed, losing someone or something that we are attached to. When we lose that, we sorrow and lament. We all know when somebody very dear to us passes away, we sorrow, we lament. Because we lost our attached object. When we do what you call mindfulness meditation, we see the truth and therefore understand that there is nothing to sorrow or lament. That is the second purpose. Then dukkha sattana visya soka paridhavana samatikkamaya dukkha domanasana attangamaya. Suffering and disappointment or anger, domanasa, depression. To overcome suffering and dejection, depression, disappointment. There is a third purpose. And the fourth purpose is Nyaya Sadhigamaya. Nyaya is Nyaya Dhamma Nyaya. Dhamma path. What is the Dhamma path? Noble Eightfold Path. We put ourselves on the path, Noble Eightfold Path. This is the 7 steps of the Noble Eightfold Path. Sammasati. Sammasati. Sammasati is the 7th step of the Noble Eightfold Path. If we do not follow this, practice this path, then our practice is not complete. Nyayasa adhigamaya. Adhigama means realization. We realize the noble noble eightfold path. And that is the fourth purpose. Then comes ultimate purpose. Nibbanasa Satchikiriyaya. We come to ultimate purpose. See how lofty this subject is. It's a complete system. This is a very long discourse. Sometimes people think, some people, this is a collection of discourses on meditation. Collection. They may have a reason or more than one reason to say that. Because each and every part of this discourse is a subject of meditation in itself. Complete subject of meditation in itself. I don't want to go into that detail because that is another area. I want to cover the discourse within the short period. I don't think I can finish it today. I will continue it tomorrow. But I try to cover as much as possible this morning. So, Nibbana, so that is why it is called direct path. Ekaya no ayambeke maggo sattanang visuddhya. The direct path to attain enlightenment, attain Nibbana, realizing Nibbana. Nibbana sa Satchikiriyaya. Adhigama Satchikiriya. Nyaya sa Adhigamaya. Nibbana sa Satchikiriyaya. Attaining, falling into the right noble eightfold path is Adhigama. Nyaya sa Adhigamaya. And the last is Nibbana sa Satchikiriyaya. That is realizing. By following this path, we realize Nibbana. And then, this is the introduction. Uddesa. And there's another little part for the Uddesa. That is then Chattaro Satipatthana Ekaya no ambeke maggo satthana soga paridasam dukkha domanastanga Nyaya Sathigamaya Nibbana Satchikiriyaya Yadidang Chattaro Satipatthana. Such as these four foundations of mindfulness. And we know them everybody knows them by heart. Katime Chattaro Kaye Kaya Anupasi Verite Atapi Sampajano Satima Vinaya Loge Abhijja Domanasam. Kaye Kaya Anupasi Viharati. See the body and become aware of the body as body is. Anupassana. Anupassana is very important part to remember. Anupassana, two words. Anu means as it is. Passana means seeing. This anu is used in various places to imitate. Gacchanto anugacchati. Tittanto anutittati. Charanto anucharati. So that means when something is going on, parallel to that, something else is going on. To express this parallel practice, the prefix anu is used. Tittanto anutittati. For instance, a child follows parents' behavior, words, activities, and they follow. When somebody goes, we go along with that person. That's called gacchanto anugacchati. And therefore, this mindfulness practice, this anupassana is very important. That means seeing the body as it is without any addition, subtraction, emotion, rational thinking, logic, and so forth. Seeing them as they are. That's what it means. Gacchanto anupassati. Kaya anupassati. And then Vedana Vedana anupassati. Vedana is used in plural because there are more than one feeling. Kaya is only one, although it divided into various parts, but Kaya is treated as one. Feelings are more than one. And therefore, Kaya Vedana Vedananupassi Virati. We don't try to manipulate feeling. Sometimes in meditation, you try to do various things with the feeling. In the Buddha's teaching, there is no manipulation of anything. From the beginning to the end, Buddha wanted us to see things as they really are. So we have to see the feelings as they are. When we come to feeling section, we will discuss that. For now, we must remember this. At the very beginning, we have to get these terms cleared before we move on. We have to get these terms clear. And then, chitte chittanupassi virati. Dhammesu dhammanupassi virati. Now, kaya kayanupassi virati, Buddha did not stop there, but he said, Atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abhijya domanasam. This last part is very important throughout the entire practice. Kaya kayanupassi virati, atapi. What is atapi? Striving, making effort to overcome defilements. All these are embedded in this one word, atapi, with the intention of overcoming defilements. We have to make effort. As we all know, there are 4 types of effort. We have to apply these efforts to overcome defilements. Atapi. That means on the way our practice, all kind of defilements can arise. So we have to get them also out of our way by overcoming them. Atapi. And for that we have to make effort. Atapi. Then sampajano. Sampajano means clear comprehension. And this is, what do we clearly comprehend? There is a section in this Kayanupasana, there is a section called Sampajana Pabba. But Sampajana mentioned even at the beginning. Clearly comprehending. When we come to Sampajana Pabba, we will explain what those clear comprehensions are. For now, at this moment, we must understand what we clearly comprehend. We clearly comprehend those 5 purposes. Sampajano. Satima. With being mindful. Satima. Vinaya loke abhijja domanasam. Greed and anger should be controlled. Vinaya. Vinaya means disciplining. That means we must put them under control. We don't let them dominate our mind. When greed arises, we have to take care of the greed. When anger arises, we have to take care of anger. Abhijja domanasam. Vinaya loke abhijja domanasam. So, we must practice mindfulness of the body with effort to overcome greed and anger. By overcoming greed and anger, we must practice mindfulness of the body. And similarly, mindfulness of feelings, mindfulness of consciousness, and mindfulness of Dhamma. This is the very first uddesa, introduction. Then, kaya kayanupassi. Katanti bhikkhave bhikkhu kaya kayanupassi virate atapi sampajana satima. Katanti bhikkhave. And then Buddha gives aranyagato, rukamulagato, sunyagara Ujum kaya panidaya parimakam sating upattapita. So sato asa sati. This is preparation to meditate. Although we can meditate, advanced meditators doesn't have to do all these things. To go to a forest. Rukhamula, going to a root of a tree, empty house, charnel ground or cemetery. Nisidati Pallanka, the Buddha did not give a variety of postures. In his teaching, he gave only one posture. What is that posture? Lotus posture. Ujunkaya panidaya parimukam sating nisidati pallankang abhujitva. Pallanka is lotus posture. We all know what lotus postures are, although we don't practice it, we don't know how to do that. It is very difficult. And therefore, we even don't try because it is very painful at the beginning. But once you get used to lotus posture, you really will enjoy your sitting in meditation. That is very steady posture. That is why Buddha, his 49 days he sat in that posture, 49 days. Just imagine how steady that posture must have been to him. And all other times he sat in that posture. And then keep the body straight, upright, not uptight. If you sit in upright position, make sure that you are not uptight, but relax. Ujung kaya panidaya. Parimukang sating upatapekto. People also have difficulty in understanding parimukang sating. I know certain meditation traditions, certain meditation teachers hang a crystal or something in front of him to make parimukang easy. Parimukha for them, for that person, is in front of an object. Parimukhang is surely in front, not in spatially in front, not in front of the space, but in front. In front means in the present moment. Now, at the moment we are meditating, in order to prevent the mind wavering, as we learned yesterday in Bhante Sutta, not going to the past, not going to the future, mind must be kept in the present moment. In the present moment, there is something going on all the time. What is that? The breath. So focus the mind on the breath that is going on all the time in the present moment. And then, Parimukang Sati Upatipeta, so Satova Asasati. Along with mindfulness that you breathe, Sato Pasasati. Along with mindfulness of what? When we say mindfulness, there has to be an object of mindfulness. Mindfulness of the breath. Being fully aware of the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And then he goes to only 4 pairs, that is first, according to Anapana Sutta, Sati Sutta, mindfulness of breathing is divided into 4 tetrads. Tetrads mean 4 pairs. Tetrads means 4 pairs. Here, since it is mindfulness of the body, Buddha used only first tetrad. Anapanasati Sutta is divided into 4 tetrads. First tetrad is mindfulness of the body. Second tetrad is mindfulness of feeling. Third tetrad is mindfulness of mind. Fourth is Dhamma. Since this is the part of mindfulness of the body, Buddha in this discourse choose only this first tetrad, first 4 pairs. And mindfulness of the body is divided into 6 groups, 6 categories, 6 classes. This is the first. Mindfulness of the body divided into 6 groups, 6 categories. First category is mindfulness of breathing. And then Sato Vasa, Sato Pasasati, mindfully breathe in, mindfully breathe out. Then he tells us the variation of the breath. First, we become mindful of the breath in general. And when the mind is little settled down, then we begin to see the details. Detail is Dīghang vāsa santo dīghang assāmiti bhajanati. Dīghang vā passanto dīghang passamiti bhajanati. Then we know long inhaling as long inhaling, long exhaling as long exhaling. Remember the word anupassana? We must apply that anupassana to this. That means when the breath is long, let the mind follow the long breath. When it is long inhaling, mind follows long, that length of inhaling from the beginning to the end. Mind, our attention is not broken. Attention is not broken. Attention stays from the beginning to the end, and the consciousness remains from the beginning to the end, following that length of breath. Dīghang vāsa santo, dīghang assāmiti bhajanati. In fact, we don't say in words, I inhale long, I inhale, exhale long. We don't use this sentence. I inhale long, I inhale short, I exhale long. We don't use this sentence. Without using this sentence means without verbalizing, we simply pay attention to this long inhaling and become aware of long inhaling. When we exhale, we become aware of long exhaling. This asasantu asamiti, it is the first person singular is used in order to teach the method. There's a teaching device. But in practice, in exercise, we don't use this word or this sentence. I inhale, I exhale. If we insert I, then it will be very difficult for us to see selflessness. From the very beginning, we have to see the phenomenon. This is a phenomenon that takes place. Inhaling is one, exhaling is another. So we totally, purely become aware of the beginning, middle, and end of inhaling, long inhaling as long inhaling, long exhaling as long exhaling. And after a while, we notice the breath regularize. That means it becomes short. It is not shortness of breath, but breath itself becomes normal. Normally, that is how we breathe. So we would call it short inhaling. Being aware of short inhaling as short inhaling, breathe in. Being aware of short exhaling as short exhaling, exhale. So being aware of short inhaling, we breathe in. Being aware of short exhaling, we exhale. Being aware of that, we exhale. It becomes short. And then when we go through these 4 steps, inhaling, exhaling, long and short, that definitely gives us an awareness of the entire breathing process. That's called Sabbakaya Patisangvedi. This Sabbakaya means the breath body. As you all remember in Anapanasati Sutta, Buddha said Asasa Pasasa is one of the bodies. Kayanyataro. Kayanyataro. Asasa Pasasa is inhaling, exhaling is another body, one of the bodies. Now that body we become fully aware, the complete body of that breathing. That's called Sabbakaya Patisangvedi Asasissami Sikkati. Knowing the entire breath body, we inhale. Knowing entire breath body, we exhale. When we talk about it, it seems to be very complex, complicated, difficult, and so on. But we must remember, when we try to teach somebody something, it is extremely difficult to convey the message or drive the message into the brain, into the mind. Very difficult. But when we practice, we see this easily. And therefore, I am of the opinion that people normally say, it is easier done than said. I put it other way around. I say it is easier done than said. Just try to do that. You can swim and try to teach me how to swim. I know how to sink, not to swim. But you swim. Butterfly, underwater, water, backward, backstroke, and front. All sorts of things you can do and say, Bhante, it is very easy. Just float. You can never do that. Therefore, it is easier done than said. Explanation is very difficult. Experience is very easy. So, when we mindfully pay attention to the breath, we can see the body, breath body becoming very calm, relaxed and peaceful. Why? Because we don't use words, no concepts, no theory, no logics, no philosophy, no psychology. We just look at the phenomenon. And then it is very easy for the mind to relax. Breath relaxes, breath body relaxes, mind relaxes. Noticing that relaxed state of mind, we breathe in and breathe out. That is called Passam Bhayam Kaya Sankaram Asasisami Sikkati. Passam Bhayam Kaya Sankaram Pasasisami Sikkati. If you read it in Sinhalese, you can never get this meaning. They say Kaya Sanskare Prasambhane Karagada. I never understood it. What is this? Prasambhane Karagada. When I start practice, then I understood what it means. That's why I say it is easier done than said. So You can see the process very gradually. The breath becomes very calm, relaxed, and peaceful. The body becomes calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Mind becomes calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Noticing this calmness, this relaxed, peaceful experience, we breathe in and breathe out. At the end of this section, Buddha gives a very simple and beautiful, meaningful simile. Seta beke bhamakaro bhamakarante siva digang va anchanto digang anchami iti pajanati. Rasang va anchanto rasang anchami iti pajanati. Bhamakara means turner. What is turner? One who cut leaves, you have a wheel and somebody has to turn it, and you use the chisel. You take the wood and you want to cut a leaf and hold a chisel. If he wants to cut it round, complete round, this person has to turn the wheel complete one whole round. If it is a short cut, short part of the leaf, he has to turn it halfway.
Lathe, that's the word. Lathe.
Yeah, leaf.
Lathe. With THA.
Yeah. I did.
Lathe. Lathe.
Lace.
Lathe.
Lace, yes. I call it leaf, you call lace. Okay. So, similarly, අපේ මේ කැටයන් කපන කියන්නේ ඒක. So, yes, lace. Similarly, when you breathe in short, breathe in long, we become aware of long inhaling. When we breathe out long, we become aware of long exhaling. So there is no any confusion or mistake in that. It's very clear. And that is one of the 6 parts of mindfulness of the body. Mindfulness of breath is one of the 6 parts. Second part is posture. There are 4 postures: sitting, standing, walking, lying down. So, gachanto gachamiti pajanati. Thito va thitomhiti pajanati. Nisinno va nisinnomhiti pajanati. Sayano va sayanomhiti pajanati. That's all. Going, be mindful of going. Actually, when you, without knowing Dhamma, if you simply look at it, you may wonder who on earth does not know when walking that the person is walking. Even animals know that when they walk, they know that they walk. Animal knows when they stand, they know that they stand. When they sit, they know that they sit. When they lie down, they know that they lie down. What is the big deal? What is special? How can we be mindful of postures like walking, sitting, lying down, standing and lying down? That means when there is an intention to walk, as soon as the intention arises in the mind, the entire nervous system responds. Thought arises in the mind. And the thought generates energy. It's called Chitta Kiriya Vayu Dhatu. Chitta Kiriya. Energy, the intention arouses our energy. And that prompts the legs to lift. But that intention instantly disappears. The energy that arouses at that moment instantly disappears. Feeling that arose that moment instantly disappears. And the elements that arises at that moment disappears. 4 elements also work. Earth, air, water, fire elements work when we walk. When we lift our heel, the earth element, air elements work together to lift the heel. And instantly, as soon as lifted, those animals cease, and the water element, a fire element begins to activate. And next moment, all this disappears as you lift the foot, carry it forward, stop, and bring it down and touch the floor. Then you experience, your feeling of lifting disappears, feeling of moving disappears, stopping the foot, that feeling disappears. When you put the foot down, that intention, that feeling disappears, and you have new feelings when you are standing. That means you experience impermanence of your feelings, your perceptions, your thoughts, your elements. All these rise and fall along with your movements. So we understand this is what is happening when we walk. However, it happens so quickly that we have no time to think about them. They happen very quickly. But the process walking is that kind of process. In that, nisatto nijjivo sunyo. This is not a person walking. This is not a being walking. This is walking. This is the phenomenon of activities, phenomenon of verbs, not nouns. That means we learn to become aware of non-existence of something permanent in walking. When we stand, again we have to be very mindful to maintain the posture. As we are standing, if mindfulness, we are not mindful of that particular posture, holding it, maintaining it, we will fall. In order to avoid that, we have to be not only careful, but we have to be mindful. And to understand that this standing is not a person, not a being, not some permanent entity. At this very moment, everything in this body, inside and outside, is changing. Everything in this body, inside and outside, is impermanent. And that is why after a certain period of standing, we cannot stand anymore. We even can faint. Why? Inner changes, inner mechanism of impermanence has been working, and it can hold the body in that posture for only a certain period. After that, body will collapse. And then again, when you want to sit down, intention arises, and then we sit down. Again, while we are sitting down, the same process of impermanence going on all the time in sitting. Similarly, lying down. Lying down, you can see breathing going on and on and on, in and out, in and out. And you can pay attention to that. Then you can notice the changes of the body, changes of your feeling, changes of your perception, changes of your breath, and so forth. That means they all are changing, means impermanent, not staying in one static moment. Nothing is fixed. That's what we want to say. Nothing is fixed. What we call present moment is a moving moment, changing moment, impermanent moment. And we become aware of that. It is therefore not that simple. 4 postures, we have to be mindful of 4 postures. Just like, when you align your vehicle, balance your vehicle, you have to balance all the wheels, 4 wheels. If you balance only one wheel, then it will be wobbling. When you drive, the vehicle is not that smooth. Similarly, sitting, standing, walking, lying down, all these 4 postures must be practiced in order to have the balanced meditation. Balanced meditation. There are other benefits of walking, those are benefits. But this is the practice to get that benefits. And then next is minor postures. That is what we call clear comprehension, sampajanya, clear comprehension. Sampajanya also I have to explain in some detail. I don't know whether I have time now. Somebody rang the gong. Maybe in the afternoon today. No, today afternoon I'm not going to talk about Bhante. The Guru will be teaching in the afternoon. Maybe tomorrow. As I said, this is a very long discourse. It needs some time to explain all these things. Clear comprehension also has 4 clear comprehensions. They are called Sattva Sampajanya, Sappaya Sampajanya, Gochara Sampajanya, Asammo Sampajanya. Sattva means the purpose. Sappaya means suitability. Gochara means domain. Then Asammoha means non-confusion. I have to explain these 4 types of clear comprehensions in some details later on. If I start right now, I cannot finish it without finishing these 4 at once. It doesn't make much sense. I have to explain all these 4 later on, maybe tomorrow. I think for now, I have to end this session. And thank you very much for your patient listening.